This episode brought to you by the Double Lindy. Nothing's gonna top that.
Hey everybody, we're watching Back to School and you are listening to Miscast Commentary.
You're listening to Miscast Commentary, where two guys have seen way too many movies and have way too much time on their hands.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. All out of bubblegum.
Now here's your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray.
Hey everybody, welcome to Miscast Commentary. I'm Joe Finley.
I'm Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
And we are with you celebrating my kids going back to school this week.
Woo!
Well, a little bit earlier. They went back last week, but it's neither here nor there.
Sweet.
We are watching Rodney Dangerfield go back to school. And good Lord, I don't even know where to begin. I think the only thing to do is to press play.
Now.
All right, this is going to be a very interesting one for us because it is the first time ever that we've done this over a shared screen remotely. And I find this...
Oh, let's see. The lion should have been Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
It's his face instead of the lion, and then he... Rawr!
Whoa, I get no respect. Leo Dangerfield.
Roar!
Uh,
Oh, it's a little slow, I think.
no, this is fine.
Is it?
Yeah, it's fine. It's hard to tell without the... Well, at least on my end, it's fine. But this, it's hard to tell when we can't hear the audio, which is another problem for this version of the...
Oh.
There you go. Todd's going to do all the sounds for us.
Ooh, the sounds of New York City in 1940. Fuck you, buddy. I'm going to the cleaners.
So talk about Alan Metter, who directed this movie. Oh, wait, that's the kid from the Wonder Years.
Yes, he's the older brother.
I saw an interesting meme the other day. They were talking about the Wonder Years came out 30 years ago and was about 20 years earlier. So it was like, it came out in like 88 and it was talking about 1968. To us, that would be a show that took place in 2001.
Wow.
So like our Wonder Years would be 9/11.
Unreal, eh?
Something to think about.
Yo, we forgot about Dustin Diamond.
Oh my God, yeah, we didn't talk about Dustin Diamond in the last episode. Yeah, actually, something worth discussing in that. I was reading all like the celebrity like tributes to him and whatnot, and I found all the ones from the Saved by the Bell people to be really stiff. Like they pre-wrote it for
That's
whichever.
what I thought.
Yeah.
Yes, it was so like, yeah, he died. Whatever, good guy. See
But
ya.
like to me, it felt like they wrote it for whoever died, whichever one of them died first. They're like, I just remember making art with them and blah blah blah. The only person who made a really nice one was Tori Spelling, who was Screech's girlfriend for like a brief period in Saved by the Bell. And she had like a very nice one because she's like, he was my first on-screen kiss. He was this, he was that, and.
Well, that's nice. Because you're right. I thought the same thing. I thought they were kind of, stiff, I guess is the way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Just like, yeah, we worked together. He's gone now.
Yeah. Screech.
See ya.
He didn't get no respect. No respect at all.
I love in that scene there too. That must have obviously been young Rodney as he's like pulling at his collar.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're going to be a bum.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So yeah, Alan Metter, the director of this, he directed a bunch of Olivia Newton-John music videos, and then he made the Making of Xanadu documentary featuring Olivia Newton-John. He directed this, and then he directed Rappin' Rodney.
Rappin' Rodney. I was thinking about that today when we were going to watch this.
That's funny. He directed Moving, starring Richard Pryor, Police Academy Mission to Moscow, and The Wonderful World of Disney Presents The Growing Pains movie.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he passed away this past June. So, 2020 just kept taking and taking. God damn it.
What the fuck? Okay.
But yeah, so
Oh, music by Danny Elfman. I can totally picture this movie now. No problem.
yeah. Bum, 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 bum. But who better to who better to be the person for like Rodney Dangerfield music. Like it perfectly suits him. Is a Danny Elfman what's it called? Soundtrack.
Right, totally.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to watch this movie again with like the sound on.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. And so we got a lot of writers there, but if you notice at the bottom, Harold Ramis was on there. But the writers were Steve Campman, who else? William Porter. Steve wrote on WKRP in Cincinnati, and he wrote in a Rodney Dangerfield special. Campman and Porter co-wrote Clifford, the movie with Charles Grodin and Martin Short. And
it's funny. I was wondering why they kept showing this fat and tall shop in the opening montage there, but here we go. Yeah.
The shot at the very end too. There's a shot of him golfing at the very end of that montage, and that's actually a shot taken directly from Caddyshack.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and so the second writer, I don't know the order in which people wrote and stuff like that, but PJ Torquevay. He was a guy from Toronto. He wrote on WKRP in Cincinnati as well, and he wrote Caddyshack too.
Right on.
Yeah, but then Harold Ramis, it sounds to me, just based on my research, it sounds like he was the last guy to come in. Like he was the guy to come and punch it up and do all that stuff, because it was actually his idea to make Rodney rich. Originally, he was supposed to be a poor guy who went back to school, and I'm like, it's way funnier because he's rich.
Yes, like, absolutely. Did you hear all the shit that they said in that ad right there?
Yeah.
That was way good. The new Hindenburg line.
Oh, absolutely. It's the
tagline of it was, if you want to look skinny, stand next to a fat person.
Yeah, which apparently he took that line right from an appearance he made on the Jackie Gleason show.
Right.
So that was... Yeah, that was a little joke that they had on that one, and I guess he just took directly from that. Rodney Dangerfield, it was funny because I was looking at his IMDb, and it's actually kind of astounding how little, like, meaningful stuff he was in.
I was going to ask when this was in regards to his career, so he must be obviously popular if he's in a movie.
It was right off of Caddyshack.
Right after, eh?
Yeah, so it's Caddyshack, then this, and Easy Money. He did Rover Dangerfield, Ladybugs, Natural Born Killers, Meet Wally Sparks, Little Nicky. I mean, there's other stuff in there, there's other stuff in there, but it's like the Onion movie, and like it's a bunch of like what the hell. But like really, as far as starring roles for the guy, and he wasn't the star of Little Nicky or Natural Born Killers. That's basically it for him. He was primarily a stand-up. And spent most of his time just like, you know, he's responsible for like Sam Kinison and Jim Carrey and Bob Saget and all kinds of guys like that. Eh? Yeah, for sure.
Did they even eat any of that meal there? Like, what was the point of sitting down there with all that food, for Christ's sakes?
Oh, you know, it's just keeping them tall and fat for the Tall and Fat Show. This is Keith Gordon playing Jason here, playing his son. He was in Jaws 2 and Christine and I Love Trouble. He's been
Christine.
Yeah.
Dude, good call. I just watched Christine recently.
Oh, nice.
Bad apple in that one.
Oh. And that spoils the whole bunch, I'm told, according to the Jackson 5.
It certainly does, buddy.
And then he became a director, though, so he directed 10 episodes of Dexter, which is like a big chunk when you think about it.
He's got Dexter eyes. That makes sense. He looks like a serial killer.
There you go. He also directed episodes of Fargo and Homeland and some other, like, Nurse Jackie, things like that. So he's, like, deep into the cable verse. William freaking Zabka. Johnny.
Is that buddy from
Cobra Kai and Karate Kid? Yes, it certainly is. So I forgot what his hair looked like in this movie. I just pictured him as Johnny from Cobra Kai, but he's got
almost as glorious as mine does right now.
Oh, he's got beautiful.
I'm talking downstairs and upstairs, gorgeous, both sets.
And to people who have not seen Cobra Kai, go check it out. I mean, William Zabka, for a guy who's basically his career like went to nothing, like after the '80s finished, like just comes out on all cylinders. He kicks ass in that movie. He's so good.
Do you notice how Buddy was like a towel boy? Like that's of yesteryear, eh? Oh God! Like, and he was like totally cool. They're all like sweaty as shit, and they're coming out. They're like slapping him with the towel. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I know. Well, at least they're swimmers and not like football players. This is Adrienne Barbeau playing his girlfriend because in movies Rodney Dangerfield, can get all the ladies, even though his comedy is always about how like ugly his wife is and stuff like that. Oh, my wife, she's so ugly. I don't even have a.
Well, no, that's the point, right? Even though she's not like when Bob Rooney or something would talk about his bitch wife, and then you see her and you're like, whoa. Like some old battle axe riding some gorgeous thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this one he gives himself a couple of hot love interests, but this is the first one is all.
Wouldn't you? What the hell?
I know. I kind of get it. It's like the whole Seth Rogen thing. He's always
like, did you see My Five Wives? All of them were hot.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was funny because I mentioned Meet Wally Sparks in my thing, and that's always, we've told the story before, but it's still one of my favorites. It's the only time where we went to a movie. 4 of us went to the movie, and we were the only 4 in the theater.
Oh my God, that's right.
So we sat separate from each other, like a good 20 seats apart in like different corners of the theater, and just yelled jokes at each other. It was kind of the best.
Fucking Rodney Dangerfield. Is he alive or no?
No, he died.
He died, eh?
He's long dead. Whoa.
Every shot of this movie, what the hell?
Oh my God, look who it is.
Oh, it's Buddy.
Yeah, Robert Picardo. Rocking his best.
Last time I saw him, he was making out with a gremlin chick.
Yeah. He looks like Adam Covert in The Wedding Singer. The limo driver.
Oh, so he just walked in and his wife making out with. Oh my God, look at that! You would look so good in that jacket, man.
Oh my God. Okay, you hit eBay and find me that coat, and I will proudly sport it for the rest of my life.
Oh my God, he needs those shades with like the slats, like the.
He had like a Beetlejuice suit and tie on underneath.
That woman plays a great bitch. I think that's the girl that was in...
Look at the twin mustaches in the background there. Sexy as fuck.
There's Grace Jones and like Tom Selleck.
Yeah. I was going to... Roger Moore?
Yeah, Roger Moore, yeah. Like the porn version of Roger Moore.
This is not a terrible idea, the sandwich that he's making, by the way.
What is he doing here?
He's just scooping all of the food from the party into this single sandwich.
They're all like laughing at him.
I like
in Europe.
This is like kind of like the ideal of, because in Caddyshack, like his whole comedy thing is I get no respect, and his whole but then he ends up coming and being like a big rich guy in that, so he gets nothing but respect. Everybody loves him in that one. So this one he had to be shit on somehow. That was disgusting and amazing.
Yeah, that is her. The lady that's playing his wife is like classic, like bitch lady.
Yeah.
She was in Creep Show, and the guy was so pissed off with her that he threw her into the monster's clutches.
Yeah, and what else did she do? What was she in Escape from New York, I want to say?
Yes. And even when her husband is like, my wood. I love that he just caught his wife like making out with some dude.
Oh, I know. What's better too is like something I like to think about with Rodney Dangerfield. Like he didn't really come on and like get famous until like he was an old man. He's one of those guys. Like I said, like think like Caddyshack wasn't his first role, but that was his breakout role, and it was just before this. Like he's not a young dude. I don't know how old he is here. He could be fucking like 80 for all I know in this friggin' movie.
Like he's already got the divorce ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, this is going to cost you plenty. Killer. That'd be amazing.
So wait. So yeah, because like he was totally, I guess, popular later on in his life, but I wonder how long it took him. You got anything in there, like when he started doing stand-up and how long it took him to get to his first movie?
No, I don't. Well, I mean, he was a well-established stand-up at this point. Like, he had his own clubs and stuff like that, so he'd been doing that since, like, the 70s. He had done a couple of acting roles. This is one of my favorite little bits. Big front flip. But something that will blow your mind. This is a little piece of information. In the 1950s, he was an acrobatic diver in real life.
Oh, Rodney Dangerfield was?
Yes. Now, I'm not saying that was him doing that dive by any means.
No, I know, but he was at one point actually a diver.
Yeah.
And there's Pauly after he's done ruining Rocky's life. He's over there freeloading off a fucking Rodney Dangerfield.
Well, he's his bodyguard. He's earning his money. He earns his money way more than Pauly earned his.
You got to keep the babes off of the danger, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Beat him off with a stick.
Fucking right.
Oh, God. I love... There's something about a Rodney Dangerfield movie. It's just like warm soup. It's just...
warm soup.
You know what? But it's just like... It just makes you happy. It's silly. It's like... It's... You know, it's not expected to be fine dining. It's just something to just give you something. Just, you know...
I love the faces he makes, man. Or is he just now going to go surprise his son, I guess, in school?
Yep. And God, one of my favorite Rodney Dangerfield lines, again, it's in Meet Wally Sparks. He gets stabbed in the butt with a fencing sword. He's like, "Oh, he got me right in the touche." Oh, that movie was something special.
That movie was something special, eh?
It really was.
Wally Sparks.
The only Greek I know owns a coffee shop on the street. It's just, it reminds me of, you remember that episode? Oh, there was a girl I just saw in the background. That's hilarious. Some girl was jumping to get the camera's attention. It was obviously it was obviously somebody who didn't know they were filming and they just saw a camera. They're like, look at me, look at me. It was very brief though. So
I think he's in the wrong building. He's in the sorority or something.
I believe that's the case.
Because I just saw some girl go by with her hair up in a towel.
Mm-hmm.
I hear, yeah. What are you in there taking a shower? Let me open up the door and talk to you, my son.
Yeah, that's also just a weird thing. Oh, I forgot there was nudity in this movie.
Who the hell?
It's funny too because
down there, jerk.
He's a rich New Yorker who has his name on buildings and then goes and peeps on young girls. We've never heard of that guy before.
I love because that's what you would go do. Don't have any kids.
I do I like the rich version of Rodney Dangerfield. I kind of wish that I feel like that's what he'd be like in real life. Oh, Tony Stark in his college days is here.
Oh yeah, I remember. He just broke up with Flock of Seagulls, and now he's back to school here, bud.
What a beautiful young man he was.
Look at him. That's hilarious.
What's hilarious, I didn't realize he was actually on SNL while this was going on. I knew he was on SNL, that's not the news, but the fact that he was basically during the week flying back and forth between LA and New York to shoot this and then go back and be there in time for the lives.
I love that Rodney Dangerfield, just so they can show some titty.
Yeah.
He just goes into who knows who's in there. He doesn't even ask hello. He doesn't know what house he's in, and someone's just in the shower.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Hey, I'll just go surprise my son, who's obviously in this shower, by just opening the friggin' shower window."
Well, of course.
And seeing the person.
What would you do?
Oh shit!
No, don't worry about it. We're fine.
You know what I would have done? Not that, buddy. Not that.
Yeah, the screen sharing is a tough thing. I'm looking things up at the same time as we're doing other stuff.
I love. Oh God, yes. If only Rodney Dangerfield would show up in my dorm room.
Oh, he's got a Pretenders poster there.
Man, I remember when I was in school, I had to sleep all the time. Everybody was like, "Oh, there's Todd sleeping on the couch downstairs again," and it was because my roommate was such a wiener bag. He'd always be like, "Can I have the room?" Because he would always be arguing with his girlfriend over some bullshit. I'd be like, "Oh my God, I should have just stayed." I should have been like, "No."
Yeah. No, I mean, Daddy's sleeping here today. He's like,
I wished I had the Technomancer here as my. Imagine the it hasn't gone off the rails yet. Robert Downey Jr. He was probably a laugh.
Oh God, I heard that. I guess him and William Zabka would hang out in their trailer and just jam. Robert Downey Jr. would play his keyboard and William Zabka would play guitar.
And Rodney would rap.
Yes. My name's Rodney Dangerfield, and I'm here to say I get little respect in a major way. Whoa,
You know,
whoa,
I wonder if
whoa.
it's on Spotify. I should find it and look it up tonight.
Oh my god, that'll be funny.
It's gotta be on there.
Yeah. So the movie actually blew me away too. This is actually the 6th highest grossing film of 1986. If you can believe it. No way, indeed. Crocodile Dundee was a higher rated comedy. This was the 2nd highest rated, highest grossing comedy of the year. But the week it came out, which this is actually really funny because the movie that it beat, Top Gun, which we just did.
Hey, no way.
But it knocked it out of number 1, in fact. But Back to School and Ferris Bueller's Day Off both came out on the same day. And Back to School beat Ferris Bueller's Day Off in its opening week.
I could see how, that could happen right off the, the whole thing with Robert Downey. And then people start talking like, oh, did you see,
Yeah. But to give you a really 1980s look at the box office. So it was Back to School, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Top Gun, Cobra, Raw Deal, Poltergeist 2, Short Circuit, Space Camp.
Wow.
So, I mean, it was just a whole bunch of shit. I love this. I really like their father-son relationship. Like, he does love his dad. Okay.
Oh my God. If this was made now, that character by Ned Beatty would be Andy Richter.
I know. I forgot that he was in this because I know Emmett Walsh is in this, and I thought that was him off to the side, but nope, Ned Beatty. Who else? So the following week, in the box office, Karate Kid Part 2 knocked Back to School out of the number 1 spot. Legal Eagles was the number 2 movie that week. What do we got the following week? Back to School went back up to number 2 behind Karate Kid 2. Ruthless People in Reading Scared. Labyrinth all came out that week.
Back in the day, man, that's when you could actually go to the movies a bunch of times. It doesn't cost like $100 friggin' dollars.
This is why no movies made the money that it does now, though, because it's like, holy crap, like 10 movies a week came out. So Back to School went back down to number 3 the next week, the movies that came out that week, but none of them even cracked the top 5. It was Psycho 3, Great Mouse Detective, About Last Night, Under the Cherry Moon, and Big Trouble in Little China.
Ooh, Psycho 3.
Under the Cherry Moon, I think that's the one with Prince, isn't it? It is.
Is it?
Yeah, that's Prince. That's a movie that Prince directed.
Oh my God, Under the Cherry Moon. I don't even know that movie.
I didn't even know it existed, and then How Did This Get Made did it like a little while ago, and I won't listen to that episode, and it blew my fucking mind. But yeah, I couldn't get over, I guess just because Rodney Dangerfield was that hot at the time coming off of Caddyshack, like everybody was all in on this movie.
Fucking right they were.
Rodney
Dangerfield.
This guy, I feel like you cut and paste this guy out of every movie that features a college.
Oh yeah, totally. Like, whose butler is he?
Yeah, no, he's nobody's butler. He's the
dean.
Yeah, no, the dean is Ned Beatty. This is like some I don't know what I think he's just like a professor, right? But he's just like...
Oh, he's another professor at the school. Okay,
he's a tenured professor.
So what are they discussing? Putting him on?
I don't
let him go back to school.
I think that's basically it. He's like, what right does he have to study at this Institute of Higher Learning type thing, right?
He's going to be the crusty dean character.
Yeah,
he's going to be the guy getting the bra with whipped cream in it on his face.
Yeah.
Or is it whipped cream?
Penny raid.
Woo woo! Just for funsies, I do myself a self panty raid every couple of weeks just to keep everything up and going.
No, I get it. It's very, very sad to just go and like, yeah, I got my underpants.
Yeah, I made it it's like a heist movie.
We did it. I love
ceremonial shovel.
Well, because he's breaking dirt, or he's breaking ground. This is how he got into the school, was by buying them a new building, essentially. Aw, see?
Yep, there you go.
Comeuppance. You see how it works.
I think he's gonna have a lot more comeuppance in.
I could follow Robert Downey Jr.'s fashion through this. I could just focus on that, and then we could just talk about him until we see him next. Because
my God,
he's got a J-Lo number of wardrobe changes.
Where are they? Like, what school is this? Did they ever mention? Like, what city are they in?
do. I don't know what city they're in specifically, but it couldn't be that far if they drove.
Any town
from New
USA.
York. Yeah, pretty much.
I'm surprised somebody's not punching or like beating up on. What's her name?
Yeah, from Weekend at Bernie's.
No, that's.
Yeah, she was a Weekend at Bernie's.
Was it Weekend at Bernie's?
Yeah, well, I believe she was.
She looks like Marvel chick.
Who?
She looks like. What's her name? She works for Shield.
Oh God, no, Kobe Smulders.
Yeah, that's her.
That is 100% not her. Colby Smulders would have been like probably like 6 right when this movie came out.
She's just a sexy older lady, man. Now.
Yes.
Is that who she? Is that chick? That chick wasn't. Who was she in Weekend at Bernie's? Bernie?
Yes, she was Bernie. I think here. Let me. I'm just double checking this information right now for you. It's Terry Farrell, if I'm not mistaken.
He's like, I like weird guys who wear business suits and other guys who I don't know. Yeah. Guys that are in some kind of weird transsexual techno band.
Okay, well, the person I'm looking at right now, I don't even know. I think it's Valerie is who this is. And so she wasn't in that, but she's definitely not Marvel chick either. She was. Of
course, you would look at this blonde god. Look at the hair on him.
Yeah, she has every right to. She has every right to.
And she knows that he beats up wimps like those guys.
She was in Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
There you go. That's it. That's where I'm thinking of.
Jadzia Dax is a great name. Dax. She was in Becker.
Okay.
So you got that going.
She's not the girl. Oh no, that's still Kobe Smulders. Was Kobe Smulders in that stupid How to Date My
How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's her, all right.
Yes. She only aged 1 year in the 20 years between the two shows.
Uh-oh, they're not going to believe this. That guy looks like a 50-year-old.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about then. You either looked like you were 9 or you looked like you were, you could have been the professor.
Okay, so this is the States, and there's no sounds whether a gun went off or somebody just like shit on the floor.
No, they made it seem like Bruce Springsteen was there, so because they're trying to register for classes.
Cut the line.
Yeah, so they just cut the line.
Where is he?
Oh, Lordy!
What an amazing idea! That's like ambulance chasing.
That is pretty. Hey, I think it's brilliant, and now they can go get everything they need. Used books. What are you gonna do? I'm a rich guy over here. Ho ho ho. Did I nail it?
It is too. Look, he is.
Mm-hmm. These have already been read. I love that concept.
Exactly. I couldn't believe that when I went to friggin' university. I was like, the books are just a scam.
Yeah. And the worst,
this is unreal. You're going to charge me this much for a book? It's not even Stephen King or Richard Bachman or nothing.
Yes. If it's not Richard Bachman, I don't want it.
I know, what the fuck?
But, well, that's what crushes me. You could and then because they get you because it's like, oh, I'm going to buy a used copy of the book. Nope, sorry, we got a new edition this year. And it's the page numbers are all one off, so you couldn't possibly catch up.
This guy's amazing. He's about Shakespeare for everybody.
So something I didn't realize, I probably I've seen the movie and I didn't just really think about it, but this Sally Kellerman, she played Hot Lips Houlihan, not in the TV version of MASH, but the movie.
Oh.
So that's like her big kind of claim to fame. Now she's also in, she was in Meatballs 3. She narrated the less than successful animated movie Delgo. She was in Young and the Restless for a while. She was on Marin. And then just a really weird piece of trivia that I came across. I always love that joke. The first time I ever saw that joke was in the movie. It was in the Beatles' Help. And it was fantastic. It's just such a dumb thing. But anyways, yeah, the Sally Kellerman trivia thing that I found to be the best. Harrison Ford built her deck back in the 70s.
That's how he was found.
Yeah, he was a carpenter back in the day, but that's somebody who actually purchased labor from him.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm sure he gave up the floor game to be an actor.
Yep.
There's no money in acting, man. Like, why didn't somebody tell that guy?
Totally blew
Stick
it.
with floors.
You know how many plane crashes he would have been in had he just stuck to that? Probably only like 2. Ooh, the quick and the dead.
He's stuck in his class.
Oh, of course he is. I like this school. That looks like Paul McCartney in the background of like the shot when it goes back to Rodney Dangerfield. Look at the top right. Oh fuck! You can't. He's in the back row there. You can
They'll
see.
Zoom it. Wait, they'll do a zoom.
They'll get another close up, but he looks so much like him. Oh god!
This reminds me of when I was in university, and we had to do like this mixed classroom all the time with the dancers, and the dancers were absolutely gorgeous. Like every single one of them.
Oh.
And every time, or the one time, the one dude in our class had like a fart box. It was like a box that would make fart noises on a remote control. Oh, buddy there.
Yeah, he totally looks like him, eh?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so I'm not crazy.
2 over. He's 2 over.
Yeah. He's top right there.
Yeah, right there.
So much like him.
And so the one guy because everybody would, always sit in like the same spots, right?
Yeah.
So the guy hid the box over where a bunch of the girls sit, and he was just letting it rip the whole time. And it was amazing because the first time it was like they're all looking around like, oh my God, one of us just farted. And then it was like you could hear them whispering, like, are you farting? She's like, no, I'm not farting, you're farting. It was just a great moment of these beautiful women accusing each other of ripping these dirty farts.
Takes me back to Harold and Kumar with battle shits.
Yeah, exactly.
You're ruining everything. You're ruining everything with your girdle butts.
Is he going to chick farts are weird because they hold them in for too long and we're not used to smelling them.
Yeah.
So when they do fart, it's like weird.
Well, I mean,
it's like a synthetic fake version of like a man fart.
I have a weird subscription service. I smell women's farts all the time.
Oh yeah, I smell women's queefs.
Oof. Oof, magoof. There's
Rodney's
2 people in the back row that weren't there before. What the hell? These guys just joined the class?
Yeah, you know what I mean? They're late.
It's like or they probably heard Rodney Dangerfield. It's like, is that fucking Rodney Dangerfield arguing with a teacher? I really, really like this though. It's a very cool idea because he's teaching business and he's like, I'm a guy who's a friggin' successful businessman. And he's nailing him down. He's talking about bribing the people.
Oh, you tell him what's up, Rodney.
It's not part of the legitimate business world.
You should have been like, yeah, you just, scare him with a gun.
Yeah. It always reminds me of that episode of The Office where Steve Carell goes to Ryan's business class. And then Ryan basically just like tells him how he works at this paper company and how it's like an obsolete thing. And basically says that like everything that he's done is wrong and that the company's going to like go under and all this shit. And then he just like he just like rips him apart. And he's like, he hasn't even made a sale. And he lit the kitchen on fire when he tried to make toast.
Got another sale. Ding! Well, like in Seinfeld, got another sale, Mr. Whatever.
Yeah.
His phone's not even plugged in.
He, like, does Dangerfield's kid there, does he not strike you as a, like, Stallone Jr.? Oh, Sam Kinison.
Oh, my God.
Originally, I guess Bob Saget was supposed to play this role because he was friends with Dangerfield, but they didn't think he could be like as intense as they needed him. So then Rodney Dangerfield suggested Sam Kinison, and no one like, oh God, I can't get enough saying Sam Kinison. We lost him way too young.
Oh yes,
like he died in like, what was that, like 1990 or something like that. He died shortly after he was on Married with Children. He did like a Christmas episode or whatever. It's the only time.
That would be awesome. Who's gonna scream out here?
Oh. This is brilliant. I think I might actually put the audio up for a second. I don't usually do this during the movies, but I don't think Rodney will sue. He's dead. All right, we're gonna hear just a little bit.
Is she right? Oh, sweet.
Because I know that's the popular version of what went on there. I know a lot of people like to believe that. I wish I could, but I was there. I wasn't here in the classroom, hoping I was right, thinking about it. I was up to my knees in rice paddies with guns, and then we're going up against Charlie, slugging it out with him, while pussies like you were back here partying, putting headbands on, doing drugs, listening to the goddamn Beatle albums.
Professor, take it Wait.
Oh, we paused for a second there.
I love how he just screams right in her face.
And it's he does have like, I wonder what he would look like as an old man. Everybody in this movie looks like Emmett Walsh a little bit. So I wonder if he would just look like that as well. Would he have like big bushy sideburns? Or just his ear hair flows into it?
What is this guy teaching, like history?
Yeah.
Like the war or what?
Mm-hmm. Put those rice eaters back to the Great Wall of China. He throws the
this would have like say it.
These two, which are a pussy wimp. I can't. You can tell too just how much fun
like,
that is.
Good answer.
You can actually see when he throws the desk. You can actually see that Rodney Dangerfield is laughing, and that because he was just a. He
really seems to care.
He just kept like every time they did the take, he just kept losing it. So they're just like, all right, fine, we'll just leave it in. It's fine.
I love that because he just keeps laughing.
Those are the best. You hear about those every now and again. It's like they couldn't seem to get through it, and they're just deal with it.
It was like anytime working with Chris Farley.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we're just like laughing their balls off. They can't keep their shit together.
Yeah.
Where are we here? Like the parent-teacher meeting or something? Oh no, it's like a
parent-teacher meeting. Yeah. No, it's another class.
Oh, and look who's teaching it.
Hot
At
Lips
this
Houlihan.
girl is clearly going to turn out to be like his love interest, and they don't hook him up with some young freshman. Although I'm sure the ladies would be all over because they know he got mad cash. Plus he's Rodney Dangerfield, he's handsome as fuck.
Yeah, it just blows my mind too. Like when you look at her, like she looks so much like Houlihan from MASH, right? And she was Houlihan from MASH, just the other one.
The
original
like the
one.
switch they did on thing, right?
Yeah. She was Houlihan to what's his face to Donald Sutherland and Elliot Gould's Hawkeye and what's his face there? You know that guys. Was he just like trying to suck on her boob? The best thing is she didn't know him from she didn't know him from a Caddyshack because I guess like that I don't even know if that had come out when they had shot this or it had just come out or whatever it was, but the whole like she knew him from like a series of Bud Light commercials. That was like his kind of like how Ernest came out of commercials, so did he. And she's like, oh, I knew him from that. She's like, oh, I get to play his love interest. Like, ooh, I've made it. And then she's like, but then she's like, then I met him, and it was like, oh, it was amazing.
So I guess he was pretty cool in real life, eh?
He seemed to be a really cool dude. There's a great story apparently that William Zabka told about. He passed by him one day and he was wearing a robe and it was the morning and he was walking off to somebody. He's like, where are you going? He's like, I'm off to the sauna. I got to sweat the pot out. He's like, he's like, you're young. You can take it, but I got to get it out of me. He didn't like abuse his body, but it's just like, I feel like it was just for his age. He was just doing so much that he like, I don't know that he was a cokehead or anything like that, but it just feels like, you know, when you see like an old person eat like regular bacon and you're like, should you be doing that? Like, it's like every decision he made. So I'm going to go on a motorcycle. Really? Because that might be the last thing you do.
He's living, man. He's living.
Well, not anymore. He's dead. Now I'm living.
Well, when he was living, he was living.
Yes.
He was alive, Joe.
I don't know. I've been dead inside since the beginning.
Uh-oh, she's having other feelings downstairs for that crazy she's going to be banging one of her students. Yeah. That's gross.
That's hot. What was just crazy there is he just like made like a full-on like accurate Wonder Woman reference. So he's like got some secret nerd going.
Oh, did he now?
Yeah. I'll never forget.
Bastin. Bastin.
Yeah. I can't look I can't look at Wonder Woman the same again ever since I watched that. It was that AMC show all about comics. And it was just about how, like, the guy who created Wonder Woman was, like, a super, like, bondage. Like he was super into bondage, and that was the whole point of like the rope and stuff like that, was like to like constantly be tying people up. And so basically
that's why it's the rope of truth. If you tie a rope of any kind around someone's genitals and yank on it, they will tell you the truth.
Yep. And then I guess Batman is probably for the fetish for people who have dead parents. It's like, oh god, it's so hot that your parents are dead. Are those speakers? Like, what the hell are those on his shirt? Is this his first Iron Man suit?
Oh my god, you might be right. It's a double. It's like the 80s version of his heart.
Yeah, he needs 2 arc reactors to power his
solar
Walkman.
Powered arc reactors.
Yeah, and it's just powering his Walkman with those shitty headphones. You remember those headphones?
I love them.
Those were truly the worst. Like I've had fortune cookies that were made of stronger stuff than those headphones.
Those are the ones that I remember. Like you used to get it on the plane.
Yeah,
like you gotta buy a pair of headphones. Like this is the worst piece of trash.
I remember when
diver just like his old man.
Exactly. It's a good dive.
Oh, he's good too.
It was a nice dive. You should respect that. He's not your towel
boy
anymore.
Yeah, doesn't this whole thing come down on the dive at the
Yes. This is wonderful.
This is the greatest thing.
I love this little pre.
It'll work. You don't want to pull a hammy in mid flip.
Yeah. Oh. Did you notice he had like a hairpiece on the back of his, obviously again not him, but whoever that was, like a little flap of hair went up and you could see some skin underneath it.
It was like an "I'm gonna get you, sucker" when the stunt fighting happened.
Yes. There he is, Emmett Walsh. We've talked about him plenty, and he's finally here. Arguably the coolest career of anybody in this movie as far as the types of movies he was in. So in Escape,
I was in everything.
Yeah. So in Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Serpico, Slapshot, The Jerk, Reds, Blood Simple, The Pope of Greenwich Village, Critters, Red Scorpion. He was actually a voice reenactor in Ken Burns' Civil War documentary. He was in Free Willy 2, which isn't, I'm not saying that that's one of his great moments.
What are you talking about, man?
He was in the Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet. He was in Wild Wild West, Iron Giant, recently in Knives Out.
Wait a second. So, Free Willy 2 is sort of weird because it's kind of like Canada's Worst Driver 10.
Yes.
Where it's like you're actually Canada's 10th worst driver.
Yes.
And Willie's already free.
Yes. So
what are they freeing him from? His now because he's a celebrity, he's addicted to drugs and dope and
he's so they shoot him in the head. He's like, "You're finally free, Willie."
Free.
No, I picture he jumps over the fence and then that's the end of that movie, or he jumps over the wall or whatever. But then the beginning of the next movie's right after, Karate Kid style, and then it looks over and then there's another wall and you realize he wasn't free. He still has to get over the next wall.
It was just like a trick.
Yeah.
Like they just build you up just to tear you down. Mm-hmm. You think you're in the ocean and when you look up, you're in another cave or cage that's even smaller.
Yeah. I like because he looks like such a football coach here, but he's the diving coach.
It went for different. Yeah, like where he has spent his entire college education on hair nets and weird clothing to wear.
Yeah, well, this is what made him all Brat Pack. He's like, everything I learned about acting, I learned from the wardrobe people in John Hughes movies.
What is this? This is his everyday outfit. This is not a costume.
Something I actually learned from, what was it? Ready Player 2.
Restraining order that lady gave you?
Yes. No, from Ready Player 2 is that Robert Downey Jr. was supposed to play Ducky in...
Who is Ducky?
In, what is it? 16 Candles.
16. He should have played Long Duck Dong.
Yes.
He played a black man. He can play an Asian guy.
Yeah, he can do it.
See, we've all accepted as a culture Robert Downey Jr. doing anything, especially blackface.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, and he's playing in that new movie that he's in, that All-Star Weekend or whatever. He's playing Mexican Stranger, so...
Oh, yeah, All-Star Weekend. That movie looks awesome.
Yeah, I still haven't seen anything on it. I think.
I don't know.
It could be the worst thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, for some reason, I feel like I've seen or read a synopsis of that movie, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I'm not convinced it's a movie, to be frank.
You can be Frank. I'll be Susanna.
Yes.
Oh my God, you wanted to join me with that old rummy?
Yeah,
It's like passed out on that bench over there. Like,
yeah. As soon as he wakes up, he's virile. This looks like it's the bar from Roadhouse. Like that could be, like that should be like Keith David in the back, like serving drinks. And then,
oh, never mind. He's hitting on him. Here we go, buddy. You know what? When you go to a bar, it's like everybody's of age. Once you get in the ring, you know, you can lock up with anybody.
Oh God, 80s girls were just like this.
I know, right? She's like, I love an old man that smells like someone else's feces. That's how dirty he is. He doesn't even smell like he shit his own pants, like someone else did it.
And here we have...
Oh my God, is this Huey Lewis in the News?
No, it's Oingo Boingo.
Oh my God. Where?
Oh wait, no, it's the house party was Oingo Boingo, isn't it?
That's hilarious because that's Buddy.
Yeah, Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman. That is hilarious.
I gotta look up the picture of Oingo Boingo.
Did Oingo Boingo do weird science?
No. Oh, maybe
because that's hilarious that it turned out that this movie was scored by Danny Elfman, because I was literally gonna say, because I can't hear anything, I was gonna make the theme song for this movie Weird Science.
That would work.
But I don't know. It would make more sense. Well, that seems like I made it up in the moment, but I didn't. Where's the party at? They should have the party already. This whole movie should have just been one long. Anyway you want it, that's the way.
I know, right?
Oh, they're partying here, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Everything is a small party leading to a slightly bigger party leading to the next party.
The White Pointer Sisters.
So this is actually an interesting thing too. Of the two movies, the number 1 and 2 movie that came out this week, both of them had this song being sung by the star of the movie.
Oh, no way.
Because
that's probably what did it.
Yeah. It's Twist and Shout here and then sung in by Ferris Bueller.
You guys aren't cool enough to get in. Well, maybe hairdo there.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you, little miss. I'm a man.
Oh, he's going to get all the ladies after this, buddy. Once you buy a lady like a whole tray of shooters, man, you will look like anybody they want.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this isn't
one of those. It's the other one. It's kind of like Russian roulette that they don't know because one of the shots has a roofie in it. Which one of those girls is Danny Elfman?
She's too. I think that Oingo Boingo is actually the house party later on. I don't think that this.
It was him.
Yeah, everybody's Oingo Boingo. I just know that Oingo Boingo does perform in this movie, but that wasn't them. I'm looking at very weird photos, like, because I looked them up to see, like, I'm like, was that him? Because I don't really remember what the lead singer looked like. And then I looked it up, and that's definitely not him. But then there's a picture of, like, a bunch of the former members, but it's, like, current day, and it's very sad looking. The one guy kind of...
What these guys?
Yeah. Apparently, I felt bad. William Zabka, I guess, tried to make himself... like more of a silly bad guy, like kind of likable and kind of like whatever, but they kept cutting the stuff out, and the director came up to him and was like, no, we want more of like Johnny from Karate Kid, and so like we want you to be like a, and so he was like, oh, I guess I'm typecast, I guess that's who I am now.
I'd be all right with that. I'd get a couple movies in as one of these. I'd make the money and run.
Yeah, I'm actually semi-convinced that he is being Tony Stark. Like, he's a smart dude. He's just slacking off because he's smart enough that he doesn't need to actually do the work.
Well, exactly. He's gonna just make bills. Well, he's gonna take tips from businessman Rodney here.
Yeah,
and then that's it. Then he's gonna make all his own money.
And then you're gonna find out that Burt Young's son is Jon Favreau's character, Happy.
Whoa.
I don't feel like that's it. I feel like there's a possibility that I could do that. I don't know that they're that hard to crush.
You try one, bud.
I don't know. I haven't seen one of those things in ages.
Oh, fuck, that's all they were waiting.
Yeah.
That place was like a Tinder box waiting to go up, you know? Oh my God, let's kill him!
Tinder box, isn't that what you call your phone?
Yes.
Hello.
That's actually what I call my vagina.
Ew.
Because it's ready to go up in flames any minute, baby.
It's very, very dry.
Exactly. Oh, there's some sailor chick to sharing a beer. Oh my God, they're gonna pick the guy up.
That was the worst shot of picking somebody up over your head that I've ever seen.
Look, he still got him.
I love it.
Boom. He's dead.
Yep.
Chicks love it when you kill a guy in a bar fight.
I agree.
At least they're rocking, eh? Fucking rocking Rodney. So when does the plot of this movie kick in, or are we in it?
Hey, it's like Billy. It's like Billy Madison. The plot is I'm going to school. Now he's at school, so the plot is underway. He's there.
It is underfoot.
Yeah. The movie's called Back to School. I'm at school. What's next? Gonna stay at school. What happens at the end? I don't know. I finish school, I guess.
Because he passes?
I feel like he gets a 4-year degree in like a month and a half.
Oh, The Great Gatsby. I hate that book. You ever read that book?
No, I've never read that book.
Ugh.
I'm too busy. I just got the first book in the Thrawn trilogy. So I'm that's the direction I'm going down.
He's gonna go after school.
I've still got a couple of books that I got to read at home too. I've still got The Disaster Artist that I have yet to read.
Yo, that looks like Toronto. That looks like that can't be the show.
No, it was shot.
You never know. It might be.
This was shot primarily in Wisconsin. Like all the outdoor stuff was shot primarily in Wisconsin, but all the indoor stuff was shot in California.
Ah.
So I think they went to Wisconsin because they wanted kind of like a not distinct college look. Like they didn't want palm trees or any of that stuff.
Can you imagine Rodney Dangerfield having sex with someone?
I imagine that, but something that we didn't land on quickly enough. The house that they are in right now that they showed from the outside, this is the house that Jamie Lee Curtis babysat in during Halloween.
Oh my God.
So shit's about to go down, or has gone down, and she got this
shit.
And she got this very cheap as a result.
Oh yeah, who didn't see the movie? That's hilarious, eh?
Yeah, I get it though. I just installed a new TV for my mom. Her TV was dying, so she bought a new one, and I got it all set up for her. It has so many friggin' apps on it. I'm gonna give a little shout out to TCL if you want to send us a free TV each. But they have the Google, like the Android TV thing on it, and it's got so many friggin' like cool apps. They had one that's just called Old Movies, and it's just a bunch of free movies, everything from like 1910 to 1960.
I always thought that they should have was it like a streaming thing?
Yeah, it's tons.
I think like Turner should do one because they get just tons of movies.
Oh, they do. Well, actually, what's funny is like Amazon does a lot of that because a lot of studios are doing that themselves right now. Like MGM's doing that through Amazon and a couple of other ones. Like they're taking all their movies, and because they don't want to start their own streaming service just for that, they're selling like the rights to their streaming service to Amazon, so it becomes like an add-on to Amazon.
It's cool.
Of which this movie is actually a part.
Are we watching that right now?
I won't confirm.
They pay you for this?
No, because nobody wants to pay me for anything. I keep trying. So hard. I saw
this thing. Who isn't attracted to teachers? Come on, no, that's like every friggin' movie I watch.
Yeah.
Porns count as movies, right?
Yeah, I guess. As long as you watch like enough of it to understand what it's supposed to be about. Like if it's not,
oh my God,
it has to not be
a sign.
Yeah, it has to not be a series of scenes. It has to be like, I had one time that there was an actual plot to it, and it was disturbing.
It was terrifying.
And it was all about like the one guy would like stare at the person, and then they would like have powers over her, and then that was.
Oh my God! So it's like sexual scanners.
Kind of. There was a lot of explosions. I'll tell you that much. I don't know if you could notice, my nose just like, about like 20 minutes into this movie, just like clogged up like nobody's business, and I'm
way to go there, Cocaine Sally.
I know.
I guarantee you, if Rodney Dangerfield hung out with all these people, man, that's all they did was do cocaine.
Yeah. Well, you got to keep that energy up. No, he strikes me as just a pot guy.
Oh no! You know what? He just said a joke that I say.
What?
I'm gonna have to give him props now.
Oh.
I say a lot of the time, like during sex, I scream out my own name. He just said he said his wife was so selfish during sex, she screamed out her own name.
Oh yeah, that is an oldie, but a good. Like I mean, the Trump roast. Jeff Ross said that about Trump too.
Jeff, yeah, I saw some commercial for like some kind of historical roasts.
Oh,
it was like Netflix. I was like, "Well, historical roast? Like, what the hell?"
Yeah. So basically, they were like roasting some historical figure, and then everybody came in character of like a historical person who was around that person at the time.
Right.
So it would be like the same. It would be like if a roast for them happened.
She just broke up with him.
Yeah. I love a world where...
Oh, that's why you don't bring your old lady around Dangerfield, bud. Phew.
Like, how do you feel as a man if Rodney Dangerfield stole your woman from you?
I feel great.
Yeah. So you did it. Like, Rodney Dangerfield.
At least I would have lost it to a human man.
Yes.
I've lost women to pretty much everything but.
Yeah.
Lesbianism, old age... amputee-ism, like a lot of things.
Well, how much got cut off that they left you?
It was me.
Oh. What did you get cut off?
Oh, you know.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, by the way.
Here we go.
Look at that
sex scene with Rodney Dangerfield.
Look at that melanoma above his nipple.
That's a third nipple, bud.
Oh, that's gigantic. What's the deal? Ugh, poor... You notice you didn't actually see hands on body. Burt, like, I guarantee they asked Burt Ward there. No, Burt Young, not Burt Ward. Holy shit.
Burt Ward.
I think I've called him Burt Ward a number of times during this, too. I apologize to Robin. Yeah, I bet you they asked Burt Young to do that. He's like, yeah, just like rub his leg. He's like, I'm not touching this man's leg. If I touch this man's leg, my hands go around your throat next. Look at that giant toothbrush. This is the 80s for you. This is
toilet brush, bud.
Yeah, this is 80s set decoration in a nutshell. They just find like some big weird thing. They're like, throw it in the corner. It's the 80s. High five.
How old is Rodney Dangerfield in this movie?
Let's do the math. Let's get gross. Ooh. I almost accidentally paused the movie. That would have been
what the frig?
I'm sorry. You're gonna hear me
type. True, buddy. You can't be sleeping your way through school.
You can.
I wish. You know, I have dreams all the time still where I'm like in university or school, whatever.
I get that.
I'm supposed to go, like, and I know that like exams are coming up, and I like never went to school. Like I never went to class.
I love this Kurt Vonnegut. So he's got to write a paper about Kurt Vonnegut. So he got Kurt Vonnegut to come. Dog. All right, let's look up.
Oh, now he's going to teach this. Is that the real? That's not really Kurt Vonnegut, is it?
That was really Kurt Vonnegut who came in, yes. So he was born in November of 1921, and this came out in 1986. Whoa. So he was 65 or 64, given
in this movie.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Right? And then if we go all the way back in his career, so he had done... He was an uncredited onlooker in a movie in 1956. He was in 2 episodes of something called That's Life in the 60s. Then he was on the NBC Experiment in Television. He was in an episode in 1969, so he was like a comedian at this point. But then he was in The Projectionist, playing Rinaldi in 1970. Then he played manager in Benny and Barney Las Vegas Undercover in 1977. Then Caddyshack. So, like, he had nothing of, like, substance prior to Caddyshack between his acting career of 1956 and 1977. So 1980
Look
comes
at
out.
this.
I know. All the monkeys.
Who thinks they're going to leave Rodney Dangerfield alone with a couple of monkeys and nothing's going to happen?
I feel like this was an improv. We're just going to, like, they gave him monkeys who knew how to do a few things. And
Oh my God, these monkeys are playing murder. Oh my God, here we go.
Yeah, this is another big staple of. See, anytime you leave Rodney Dangerfield alone with something, a party happens. Doesn't matter what it is.
You're just hanging out. The pizza will kill the monkeys, but they had a great time.
Who would be today's Rodney Dangerfield?
Like, I don't know, man. They don't make him like that anymore, bud.
There it is. But like I'm just trying to picture who would be this. Like, I loved in Community, they did a very similar kind of thing, and they got the creator of Arrested Development came on the show as an actor playing Coogler. And he's like, I'm a cool guy. Like, he's just and like he's just like, I'm a cool guy, I get the chicks, and it was all that. And then they made like a trailer for his like college movie that was essentially this. And like, like there's like a teacher's meeting or something, and he like drives up in a golf cart, he's like, mind if I play through, and like all that kind of stupid shit. So
because he's not there, so he hired her. I love this woman.
Yeah, so he is another person from or she is another person who also appeared in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. But also...
She must be typing as he's saying this.
Yeah. But that's the cool thing for her. So she was in the number 1 and 2 movie this week.
And they both had the same song being sung by the lead males.
Yep. And...
That's a weird coincidence.
Yep. And...
That's a good point.
Yeah. And then Rodney Dangerfield, Edie McClurg, and Robert Downey Jr. all appeared together in Natural Born Killers.
Why could you not do this? Like, why not? If I could hire a stenographer to come in and write everything you said down and then come and tell me, like, what's the problem?
Yeah, it would be totally okay if you went to, like, if you borrowed somebody's notes. It was like, I missed the class.
What the hell? Like, why would this guy's like, you gotta be here?
Yeah. I think the only thing that he really had to go off of was just the fact that it was, like, distracting, that it was the stenographer, like, that but aside, but
no, I think he had a major problem. With Rodney not being there.
He definitely has it out for him just in general, because he says he's not here to do the work and whatever. And then
stole his old lady.
That secretary in the front there looks like it's Harold Ramis in a wig. Tell me I'm wrong.
It probably is. Is that Pat?
Yes.
Harold Ramis was one of the writers on this. I think he was one of the producers too, or something.
I don't know. I don't think he was a producer on this one, but he definitely. I'm curious to see what made him come in. Well, I guess because he was involved with Caddyshack too, right? So Rodney, this is. I feel like a lot of this is just Rodney, like at his most powerful, just calling people in, like, "Hey, Harold, come on in, write me some jokes
on this thing. Have lunch with me."
Hey.
He's got another suit. Oh, they're watching the team here. Here it is. This is where it's going to kick in.
I love the idea of the diving team. Like, it's just like, it's so funny because like everything else, it's like, I get as a team sport, like, oh yeah, we're playing hockey, we're playing football, we're playing basketball. But then it's like, it's the diving team. Is this a thing?
Diving is huge at this school.
Apparently it's like how karate was in the Karate Kid. Like nobody could, like you couldn't, that whole valley area of California, you could not get enough friggin' karate. It's like everybody is like, what did they say? What did he say in that? When he's talking to Elizabeth Shue, he's like, do you hear about the big karate tournament? She's like, who hasn't? Like, tons of people do not know about karate tournaments.
Who hasn't, bro? It's like being in the Green Bay territory,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
they were karate. They were young boy karate tournament area.
I want to go to Green Bay and just go to random places and just say, "Hey, do you know there's a football team here? They're pretty new."
They would literally kill you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They would.
You would be done before that even exited your mouth. You would have a bottle smashed over your head and you'd be stabbed. Yeah.
Do you remember the scene in Game of Thrones where he pours like the gold over Daenerys' brother's head there? I would get that, but from cheese. Melted cheddar just over my
melted hot burning cheddar.
I'd love it.
It would, like, bubble the skin.
I'm very confused as to what, like, because like they're spending all this. He doesn't seem even really jealous of him. He's just like, you're gonna go hang out with him again? Ugh. It's like, but come back.
He is, but he's too couth to show a hot head in public.
Yeah.
He'll go home and write an angry sonnet.
Are there angry sonnets?
Oh, they're all angry.
Nice. I watched a newer episode of The Simpsons, and it was the whole episode was really a road trip movie between Skinner and Chalmers.
Oh, no way.
And they pick up a group of hitchhikers, and they're Shakespeare improvisers. And it was quite funny.
It was quite humorous.
Is this a dive that happens?
This is a real dive.
Like, do you dive from your feet? Like, I don't know enough about diving.
You do it all the time when you watch the Dive-Roo.
All I know is that the triple Lindy is a thing. I remember jumping off of one of those when I was very young.
It's probably Brock University you're thinking.
Yeah, I know it was Brock University.
That was cool, man.
Yeah, that was neat that you could just
You could go there whenever to do like free swim and jump off that tower.
Yeah.
It's sort of like tobogganing. It's like I gotta go up the hill one time and that's it, bud. It's like a mountain. I can't breathe. My legs hurt. I'm like I could be at home watching TV.
Well, that's why I like that water park at Disney because there's a ski lift that goes up to it.
Oh, you know what? I saw this whole thing where they go through Super Nintendo World.
Bad dive. Yeah, I know. I had mentioned that to you. It's awesome.
They do the rides and everything. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does look cool. I can't wait to see more.
I would never wait. You know, the thing I do like though is like all the waiting is indoors.
Yes.
That is how I drink any beverage.
Laying down and just pouring from
pour it all over my forehead, and hopefully some of it dribbles down into my. Oh my god, they're having like a
caveman,
like a is that what it is? A caveman jam.
This like literally this exact scene, like Accepted stole this exact scene from it.
Oh, and Accepted, yes. Yeah. You know what's funny too is where do they all like they have like who is their costume party tailor because like they all look pretty good.
Yeah, this is like...
You know what I mean? Like, where the hell? I'm just going to go home and whip up one of these Flintstone outfits.
I was just going to say, who is the provider of all these Flintstone bones that they're accessing?
They do it pretty sweet, actually.
I feel like he'd have been a bit more meticulous and would have hidden his hair. Like, I don't think you should be seeing his blonde hair at all. Yeah, so now there's Oingo Boingo up on the stage. This is Oingo Boingo.
Is that Danny Elfman right there?
No, Danny Elfman's there somewhere. I don't know which one he is.
Yes, he is. He's the lead dude, isn't he? No, or was the keyboards?
He's the keyboards, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, those are his girls, bud.
Yeah. Like, they look, again, this is an 80s thing. They could be in their 20s.
You already just said, that's hilarious. He's like, I love three girls. He's like, because when I fall asleep, they have someone to talk to. Look at him. He's got his Pee Wee Herman going on here tonight.
Yeah.
He's got his dancing shoes on.
That's the shot I want of, like, if they ever give Robert Downey Jr., like, the Cecil B. DeMille Award or something like that, I want that shot to be in his, like, little montage before he gets it. Just him on the ground going, like, oh, do me.
Oh, look. His son is turning into the guy who was in Christine. Like he's getting drunk in the dark.
Oh, I was gonna say I think he's turning into Jason Patrick in Nightbreed.
Oh my god!
Or not Nightbreed, The Lost Boys. He's slowly but surely.
Yeah, same thing.
Was that Tim Heidecker? That's the other thing is most guys in 80s college movies look like Tim Heidecker.
That is amazing. What's his problem? Why is he so mad? Because his dad's cooler than him?
Well, no, because he felt like his dad, or it was kind of like planted in his head that like his dad is the only reason he made the dive team and all that kind of stuff. And then he goes down and he gets distracted because he sees his dad talking to the coach. And he's like, oh, he is the only reason. And then he blew the
not that he's actually a good diver.
Yeah, he blew the big dive thing. Well, he got a shit score. What can I tell you?
He got a shit score. Maybe it is the reason.
Yeah.
So what? Just go with it, bud.
That's what I said, man. I would love.
Who cares?
I love me an opportunity.
Always got to be something what the kids say. Yeah. Stop paying my way through life, Dad. I want to do it myself.
It's actually the thing I respect George Lucas for the most is this great story where like his kids. You know how. Like, you kind of hear the story with celebrities and their kids don't really understand what they're, like, you know, what they do for a living or that they're, like, a big success or anything like that. And he's like, all of a sudden, they get to an age, they're, like, in their teens, and they're like, oh, my God, we're rich. And then he's like, no, I'm rich. you don't have any money. He's like, you are very poor. You just live in a rich man's house.
Man, see, this is what's cool, man. Like Danny Elfman giving back to Oingo Boingo, you know? He's like, you don't get me on score unless you put Oingo Boingo in this movie.
He just has that, like, ability. Like,
that's what Dan Aykroyd said in Nothing But Trouble. He said, if you don't get Digital Underground to perform in this movie, I won't be in it.
Well, he actually did do that for when he hosted Saturday Night Live for the Tragically Hip.
Oh, that's right.
He wanted from Kingston, Ontario, his hometown. Oh,
that's good. Everybody was like, boo.
That would have been amazing if that was the case.
I wonder, hopefully somebody in the States was like, these guys are awesome.
They do have, it's kind of funny. I was talking to some people
over
from
the border.
Is like, it's almost like a mirroring thing of, like, close to the border, people know who they are. As you get further and further away, less and less people know. It's kind of like how it gets as sparse as there are people in Canada. Like, the most populous area is close to the border, and then it gets less and less. They're drowning him.
And the more, oh my God, what a way to go.
So what was he just doing? Was he just looking at their...
What's funny is... Sorry, what?
I was going to say, was he just looking at their bikini-clad pubic mounds? Like, was that his partying?
Well, no, he's trying to find their JJs.
Oh, okay. Well, he couldn't have found them.
Fun game. I love this. She literally she's upset because she went and found Rodney Dangerfield in the hot tub with a bunch of hot young girls.
Yeah.
Now, she literally just walked away from her boyfriend to go find this guy. And then she's upset that he's with someone else.
Her boyfriend that she has not broken up with.
Yeah, exactly.
I still think...
Oh, yeah. See, those are his killer eyes from Christine.
That's a stare. The ears, too, man. He could have been, like... I feel like you could have cast this guy in most of the movies we've done. Like, he could have been the last Starfighter.
Oh, my God,
There's nothing wrong with that, right? He could have been freaking... what's-his-face in Gremlins?
He could have been the Gremlins.
He could have been one of the Gremlins with those ears.
I wonder what else he's in now that he was in this one. What else has this guy been in?
Okay, so let's look him back up.
Christine guy.
So, like I said, not a lot of stuff. Like, most of his acting was in the past, and he directs now. Like I said, he's directed Fargo and stuff like that. But let's see. He has been in other stuff, but it was just kind of like... I usually, if they're one-off things or something like that, I usually don't even bother to mention them, just because it's like, okay, it happened. What the hell? Oh, his baldness is almost as bad as my baldness. It's not great. All right.
Don't even.
All right, let's do...
That is yours. Don't try to bring somebody down with you.
Yeah, no, I know. I actually, I saw, because I let it grow in because I was lazy, and I saw some weird...
Let your baldness grow in?
Well, no, but I let my hair grow in, and I could see kind of like weird patterns where it's like continuing to like fuck up.
You should get the two wisp strands like Homer.
Oh, if only. I don't even think I could grow that much hair.
I don't even know anybody, like, how the hell would that even work? It's just like two good strands.
All right. So he was in the TV movie Combat Academy. He was in an episode of Miami Vice, playing Professor Terrence Terry Baines. He was in I Love Trouble. I did mention that. He was in the TV movie The Player, which a bunch of people were in.
Tons of people are in that movie.
Yeah, no, but I think like multiple people from this movie were in that as well. I'm having a hard time going through. I'm not even going to bother. What else?
She failed her.
Uh-oh.
She failed him.
That's not okay.
Ooh, she knows.
Yeah. You shouldn't have been eating
because
out
what's his name wrote it? Kurt Vonnegut.
Yeah. No, this is the best thing. He doesn't know the first thing about Kurt Vonnegut. This is an interesting little thing. So he's... Fuck me. I like the idea that Kurt Vonnegut said, fuck you. So he says next time I'll call Robert Ludlum. The reason he said that, Robert Ludlum was Rodney Dangerfield's neighbor at this time.
That's hilarious. Oh no, Dean Martin. Oh, his name's Dean Martin.
Mm-hmm. That was an inside joke that they put together specifically because he had been on like the Dean Martin roasts and stuff like that, or he was in like the Dean Martin variety show or whatever god awful Dean Martin thing. That's what kills me though. Again, he was in one successful movie of which he was not the star, and like he has all this power in making this movie.
Because he's the man.
Well, he is, and I think like again, he did so much for so many people that I feel like everybody around him can just like support him into that power. You know what I mean?
Oh no.
You don't even know what I mean.
You don't even know. Oh, they busted him friggin' cheating. That's a no-no.
See, this is...
What was his idea? He really just wanted to go back and party, right?
Yeah. Well, the idea was that he didn't have the college experience because he just worked and then took over the business, you know? And look at that goddamn face. Yes, it is.
Face.
But but yeah, so he just kind of like, there's no real challenge to it. It's not like Billy Madison where there was a point. He just like, oh, fuck it, why not? I don't know who's running his business while he's doing this shit, but...
I absolutely had like the most terrifying nightmare of my entire life had Rodney Dangerfield in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm sure like it was him, like in the dream. It was terrifying.
What did he do to you?
What didn't he do?
Anal.
No, I remember I was like lying in bed and it was like, you know, there's a closet kind of, you know, over there. And I remember in the dream, it was like I woke up and I could see a shadow of a person go from the door that was open into the hallway. And then the shadow went across the wall. And as I'm looking at the shadow, I'm like, the moment it hits the doorway, they're going to be in the doorway. And then the moment oh my God, I have like total goosebumps just telling you this, Joe. I like how you made your lights all creepy.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when you're like, oh my God, they're going to be in the doorway, they were like right in front of me. And it was Rodney Dangerfield. Like I couldn't tell who it was, but afterwards I knew it was Rodney Dangerfield. I'm telling you, it felt so real when I woke up. I was terrified.
Oh, that sucks.
Maybe he visited me to tell me something awesome.
Yeah. I turned the lights back on because I forgot you were able to see me.
Oh my God, look at this. Look at that old Coca-Cola. Is that, what is it?
Yeah.
Is that new Coke?
That's Coca-Cola Classic, baby. That's not no new Coke. What are you talking about? What are you talking about with your new Coke?
Oh, he only loves his mayonnaise. Oh, mustard, gross. Got some apples that must have fallen from somewhere and landed in front of his lunch.
Yeah, that's how he discovered gravity.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you, he's old, I'll tell you. Whoa.
Using these things to hold down the paper bag that goes around my sandwich.
That was a little Jackie Mason, but...
Oh, they're having it here, bud.
I like that he says that. You can do anything you want in life. He's a super rich dude. Of course he can. This isn't like an apply yourself and you can do it. And also quit.
Oh, they believe in each other now, bud. It's on.
I think the only thing, like, really what, like, for some reason, like, this is about him redeeming himself for this. I was like, he should be, like,
going to school and doing it for real, doing it for himself.
Yeah, but, like, I almost feel like, you know, just the way things kind of went for his son. I was like, you'd think that a bit of it was him, like, because look at his son is being there for him and doing all that, but, like, he should be, like, helping do right by his son. Like, I don't know.
Oh, Lord.
Man. Not a lick of acting in this, man. I love it so much. I also like the rain slicker.
Oh, look at this. He's got the record /tape player.
She give him like a tugger while she's reading. Oh.
Yeah, with her foot.
Yes.
Oh, so what, is she helping him now? Did they agree to something? Like he's got to write the paper again or something? Or what's happening here?
Yeah, well, he's going to... basically the academic decathlon is going to happen from Billy Madison. Is he's going to receive his... he's going to receive all his tests like all at the same time, essentially.
Just see that, like,
yeah, he did a bump of sugar.
Yeah, and then he was doing a tequila shot, only it was coffee.
Yeah. So this room that he's in right now is actually where Alex Owens makes her successful dance audition in Flashdance.
Oh my God. I was like, I know that room.
Yeah, it is that room.
Dude, it's like I've danced there 1,000,000 times myself.
Well, because you're a maniac on the floor, and you're dancing like you've never danced before. And that is not a compliment. You look like you have never danced. I don't remember the moves ever, and I just get wasted and dance. So that's right. Every time's never the same. I love watching with the kids with the home, like the school at home stuff on Fridays, just to kind of like get their energy out and stuff like that. They do a like a dance party for my son's kindergarten class, and he just gets up and he just, oh my God, he just gives it his all. And then good. And then he invites me. He's like, come over and dance with me. And like, so we're all just having a weird dance party in the house. That's awesome. Dude, I told you, man, I have a 27 dance mix hours, bud. 27 hours of dance mix. Nice. You never have to turn back now, baby. Oh, here, this movie is such like, or sorry, Billy Madison is such a ripoff of this movie. Oh, absolutely. I have not seen this movie in forever, and holy God, is that movie ever like the same movie as this? There's so many. Well, like I said, to Accepted, it's like a lot of college movies that came after this have taken pieces of it. Like even tiny bits of like Old School. And yeah, I think that more of them took from this than they did from Animal House, which would have been like the quintessential college movie. That and maybe like Revenge of the Nerds. Oh my God, Revenge of the Nerds rules. Yeah, it's pretty much the best one. Oh, I heard that they're like redoing it. I was funny because the article I read it said that they're redoing Revenge of the Nerds, but they're taking out one very controversial scene. Yeah. Guess what scene that is? Which one? The panty raid? Nope. What? Okay. Well, I'll give you one more guess. Okay. The one scene that they're cutting out of the new one, I guess. Okay. Well, when he raped the girl? Yep. Okay. The she doesn't know that it's him. Yeah. Well, I get that. Yeah. It's very hard. It wasn't really a rape, but he did it before she knew, and then she's like, oh. But you could, if this happened, if in a situation, if you had, like, say, you know, I was with Carrie, and I had a mask on, and then I left the room, and you came in with a mask and had sex with my wife, that would be sexual assault. We could both be charged for that if like we were conspiring and you didn't just. She should also be charged. She was in the act as well. She's charged for trafficking and stuff, like all that QAnon stuff. That's all her. It's a three-way. Yeah. Dance of deceit. No, she should be charged because she does all that Army Hammer shit. Yeah, you know what? I find that so weird. Like, it's what you can't even say creepy shit anymore. Like, he didn't even say any racist stuff. He just said, like, he likes to eat flesh every now and then. Like, who doesn't? Well, my favorite part, though, it was, like, it's almost that Simpsons kind of a joke where he, like, where it's like he says something, he's like, surely he doesn't mean it. Then the very next message is, by the way, I 100% mean this, just in case we need to put this on the record. Yeah, but still, what? So because he says that he even means it, like, big deal. Yeah, well, I mean, said he eats flesh. Who gives a crap? Yeah, well, it says he like when it talk like just the way he described things he had done, and keep in mind that he's also married with kids, and he was having these conversations with women on, and I don't even know that they were all of age on Instagram. Nice. Well, no, he's definitely a creeper. Because like a lot of people have come out and said that he's just a creepy, weird dude. Yeah. But he was grown up rich, so he's one of those dudes who like he's probably been killing for years. Yeah. J-Lo knows a murderer when she sees one. I know, right? Okay, she's Jenny from the block. Yeah. You don't think she's got the eye of the fucking tiger? She knows. That's why she never worked with the anaconda again. Wasn't she? Just an abuser. Yeah, she's like, I know. You got snakes out here this big? Yeah. Boom! It's like Ice Cube was here with me. Yeah, no, that was pretty much perfect. Now you be I'll be Ice Cube, and you be what's his name? Owen Wilson? No. Oh, can I please be Owen Wilson? No, you can be the guy who was eaten by a snake previously. What the hell? Angelina Jolie's dad. Oh, John Voight. Yes. All right. Yeah. This is anaconda skin. Anacondas don't bite. Oh, they don't bite? What country are you from? I'm not from a country. I'm from Connecticut. Oh, wow. Big snake skin. Wow.
You just had to throw Owen Wilson in there, huh?
No, that was my John Voight.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's your John Voight. Oh, yeah.
I nailed it.
Oh, look, here's this part now. Where he's doing whatever this is. Oh, it's got to be the Shakespeare portion of the test.
This actually, it's his English test. It's actually, I don't like how much she's kind of like babying him through this. I could kind of see like the other teachers being like, hey, what the fuck? Like, just come on, you can do this. It's
like
okay.
A bad ventriloquist act.
Yeah. And the other thing too,
I think I read this poem at school and I broke a bunch of books.
Oh, how did you break the books? I need to know that.
Rage, yeah, against the dying of the light.
Yeah.
And every time I'd say rage. It's true, we did do this. It was me, Travis, and Jeremy. I was saying, their only job was to, I set up a bunch of textbooks that they would hand out every day.
Yeah.
And then, because when you're in school, they give you everything for free because you're not paying anything. But then when you are paying, they charge you up the fucking ass for a book.
That's anyway, a good point.
I'd go rage, and then I'd knock all the books off the table. And then as I would continue to say the rest of whatever that is, a sonogram or a sonnet or whatever the frig it is, they would pick the books up very calmly and put the books back onto the table. So by the time rage,
I remember this.
And then I'd throw the books off the table again.
Now that you're saying, I wasn't in that class with you guys, but I do. Now that I'm hearing it again, I remember this. Did you? I don't know if you noticed, but the team name was the Hooters.
The Hooters.
It's the Eagles versus the Hooters. Which, by the way, like I thought you would just be like the Harvard like diving team or whatever. I didn't think that you also got to be the team name. We're the Screaming Eagles. Roll Tide. Whatever.
What is this now? What are we doing?
This is like the diving championships.
Oh my God. They're cheating.
Well, hey, man, this is
exactly what the kid said he didn't want.
I know,
was to get there on his own without. You ever think that those things that you climb up and jump off, they kind of look like something off of a battleship?
Yeah. Oh no, totally.
Like show it again.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about, though. Ooh, see, don't have a girlfriend. When you're an athlete and you have a proper girlfriend, you get really bad at your sport.
Yep. So what?
That was like the biggest slump in Andre Agassi's career is when he was with friggin' what was it, Cindy Crawford he was with?
Oh yeah, see, well, because they suck the life out of you.
Yeah. And
it is worth every drop.
Yep. Yeah.
I would take a total career slump. I have no career. I've been in a slump. So if you want to put me into a career slump by being with a beautiful woman, let's go.
Well, maybe it goes the opposite way for us. Because I had heard that Aaron Rodgers was dating Shailene Woodley now. And I was just kind of like, Shailene Woodley from
I don't like
Divergent her. And The Fault in Our Stars and all that shit.
Oh, I don't like her. I don't like her acting.
Well, she doesn't like yours. His legs were too far apart. He better not get a good score for that.
That was a terrible dive.
Yeah. That's something I've never been good at. I've always been a terrible diver. It's really funny because like I watched my daughter when she was in swim class and stuff like that, and they were teaching her how to dive, and I'm like, come on, honey, just do this, do that. And I'm like, I've never fucking successfully dove. Every dive I've ever had has been a belly flop.
You can't exactly. That counts. You still dove off.
Yeah, I did. Like I
wouldn't get many. Yeah. See there, right there, it looks like a battleship, yo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, here we go. And he still loses to the guy that got the shine in his eyes.
Yes. Well, because it was basically just falling backwards.
Like, when have you ever seen cheerleaders at a diving contest?
This is the whole thing. This is what I'm saying, is they've made this, like, this is a world where football doesn't exist.
Yeah, they're all divers.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we got a 9-9-10.
See, like, I just don't picture, like, why does he have a whistle?
His hair's not even wet anymore. Didn't he just jump?
Well, it's very hot, right? So it's like it probably evaporated off of him. This is also another thing.
His ankle.
Yeah, I bet he got a lot. Oh, menstrual cramps.
Ooh.
Which on your period or something? Now I don't remember why is he a member of this team? Because he's like, you're get your suit on. He's like an alternate or something like that. Oh my god,
here it is. This movie is terrible.
What?
This movie's just like, what? Like nothing even happens in it.
Well, and this is exactly my point that I made with Caddyshack. I got into such, like, people got so mad at me when I said that about Caddyshack. And I'm like, tell me what happens in the movie. They're like, well, this and that. And there's like, and I'm like, no, there's no connective tissue in the entire thing. The story is Michael O'Keefe, like, navigating through this thing as a caddy. And like, it's supposed to be about like the kids in the shack and stuff like that. But most of the movie is just him running. Like, he's like, I'm in the pro shop and making fun of a Japanese guy. And then I'm in the, I'm at the dining room and I'm making fun of a Japanese guy. and then like Chevy Chase comes out, and then Ted Knight comes out, and then it's like, and then that Michael O'Keefe is with his girlfriend who you don't even know her friggin' name, and she's like, oh, I'm pregnant. He's like, oh god, okay, we're gonna do that, and then it just goes back to Chevy Chase and friggin', and then you're like, what? Like, we just ignored them, and then like 10 scenes later, she's like, no, I'm not pregnant, yay, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna golf. Like, that was.
This is the greatest. It's funny because nobody really did that well because they were cheating for Buddy.
Yeah.
So, like, even if he did just a pretty good dive, I think he would probably win. Like, he doesn't really have to pull off the triple Lindy.
No, if you don't do the triple Lindy, it's over. This is a wonderful moment.
This is the greatest thing to ever happen in cinema.
You know what I really love, though? You know that this is like 2 feet off the ground.
Look at this.
Oh, it's not even triple Lindy time yet.
Yes, he is.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look at his face.
I love.
And then
oh, look at this.
Lands on this one.
It's pretty impressive because a stuntman is doing this.
Yeah, he sure is.
Okay.
Oh, and then up, a flip, lands again. Holy Lord.
Woo.
Even if at that point you did a belly flop, I'm sure you should still win.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that
my lord,
I don't know where those diving boards came from though, because it looked like they were all platforms.
They said that they were installing another one.
Oh, okay. Good call.
Which only took like as long as it took him to go up the rung.
Well, think about how long it must take an old man to get
60 something exactly.
Like it's. Where's William Zabka? He should be happy too. He just got he's getting a champ. I assume because swimming's this big, he's probably getting a championship ring.
See, like in this movie, there wasn't really any bad guy or anything.
Yeah.
Like the one guy was just sort of annoying. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't really. I thought he was gonna have to dive to save the school or something. You know what I mean?
Nothing.
Like,
and he passed with D's.
He should have. Making the whole thing
go
the opposite of what they wanted. He would fail, and so would his son because they both sucked.
That would have been great.
And so there's like no lesson at all.
I kind of wish that his triple Lindy dive would have been him just smashing into one of the platforms and then just rolling off of it and then landing on the deck. And it's just
I agree, that would be way better.
And then the credits roll over a lifeless corpse of Rodney Dangerfield while blood like flows over into the pool.
No, it should like he dives off of one board, goes flying, smacks into the the wall or whatever, and then falls on the ground, and then the camera closes up on his face and he's like, what am I thinking? I wasn't a diver, I played water polo.
Wow.
Or something, right? I was a runner. Ooh, yeah, and then he makes his face and credits roll.
I love it.
And he's clearly the valedictorian.
No, he's just giving, like, for whatever reason, he's allowed to address because he's still a freshman. He didn't graduate.
Look at that. Oh, I feel like that's the cover.
That's the cover everything.
Box.
Forestel, thanks for so much. Did she die?
That's my O face, too, that exact face.
That would be amazing. If that's true, I would let you have sex with me constantly. As opposed to what's happening now, which is me not letting you. It's just happening.
Hey, this is pretty cool doing it this way, actually. Even though I can see, can they see? They can't see me, eh? I'm just a voice.
They're just a voice. We gotta have to do some.
Though.
We gotta do some more Game of Thrones soon too.
Oh my God! Hell yeah!
But yeah, we've got probably a couple more weeks of this before lockdown is officially open back up, and then I'm gonna steal.
Oh,
you.
Look.
So yeah,
Oingo Boingo band members: Danny Elfman,
yeah, Leon Schneiderman. That's the name that
I'm sure that guy there was totally just either the lead singer of that Oingo Boingo band looked like he was resurrected in like Johnny Depp's backyard Halloween party.
Yeah, I was gonna say
There's guaranteeing you. I'm gonna look into it. I'll bet you that was him.
I was gonna say he looks like an evil Sting.
Yeah, Sting looks like an evil Sting.
That's true. Especially in Dune.
Hey, did you see the Kong?
Oh, Danny
trailer?
Elfman is the singer.
I told you, buddy.
You
he
are
looks
right.
way too much like this. Is this
I forgot.
Is this an Oingo Boingo song? I can't hear it. Boom, 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 boom. Weird science, chicka boom boom.
Yeah.
Boom 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 boom. Weird science, chicka boom boom.
There's always an asterisk next to anything, so I don't know if any of this is happening.
Oh, R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
I like that.
Oh, yeah, that's
what is this? Another Oingo Boingo song? Oh no, it's that's just Aretha. Yeah, just straight up.
Because he doesn't get any respect.
That's true. Oh, you know what? I didn't even put that together.
Oh my lord.
David Quick, David Aaron. If you mix up some
I am
letters there, you
now
got David
going
Q
to
on.
eat chicken strips and zoodles.
Oh my God, you're going back to your like high school diet.
Yeah, I'm doing it, bud.
Attaboy.
I woke up way too late and I had 3 pieces of pizza for dinner.
Wonderful.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, now I gotta be up pretty early tomorrow. Oh no. Video playback. What video playback? I guess probably what they're playing on the TVs, eh?
Maybe this. There's playback.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
knew we would do this.
So it just made me think replays. Like it's like it's like, hey, did you hear that joke? Let's hear it again. Director.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say about friggin'.
Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt for 1 second. Director of photography for the Triple Lindy. There was a director of photography for just that scene.
Of course there was.
Okay, sorry. Anyways,
it was like a movie within itself. That's okay. I was just gonna talk nonsense anyways.
Okay, no, I want to hear your nonsense.
Oingo Boingo.
Yeah, what was your nonsense?
I was going to say that at the new Super Nintendo World, all the waiting for the rides is indoors.
You did mention that, and that is the way to go.
I can't remember whether I mentioned that or not. I was just thinking about it because I was like, man, it looks so like the ride looks like the ride's like 4 minutes long. And you're going to wait like 5 hours, but at least you're indoors where it can be air conditioned instead of like at Wonderland where you're like baking in the sun.
Oh, absolutely, and that's
standing there like I'm like half passing out.
That's something that those places like Disney and them are really good at, is getting you either. If they can't get you indoors, they're going to keep you cool. Because I remember when we went for our honeymoon to Disney World, they had all along, I think it was I want to say the Tower of Terror. There's a big portion of the line that's outside, but what they did is they put one of the misting hose.
Yes.
All along the sides, so you were like in a misting machine all the way through the outdoor part.
You know what? During I've been thinking about this whole pandemic and all this garbage, and like you got to stand in line. It's freezing cold here in the Great White North. True. And you're standing in line at Walmart for like 40 minutes, and it's like -19. You think that a company that has more money than God could throw out a couple of heat lanterns or something.
Yeah. You know what's actually really funny that you mentioned that is the fact that I was outside in line at Costco today for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And the only reason is because it was the only place I could get a decent amount of friggin' mozzarella sticks for tomorrow's Super Bowl.
Oh, it's the super gross.
So I was outside, and the worst thing is, it's like, okay, I'm just going to pop on my hat because the wind's blowing on my bald head really hard. And then I'm like, oh, my hat's not in my pocket. Not sure where it is. Uh-oh.
Nice.
So, like, my head was like, I had basically
You're having a Super Bowl party at your house?
Not a Super Bowl party. I just bought we're just having a snacky dinner for the Super Bowl.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. It's just going to be like
you don't even watch football. It's just an excuse to eat a lot of shit.
Yeah. Oh no, we'll still watch the football, but oh man, It's we do it in layers because I bought wings, and then I've got stuff to do like deep fried pickles and mozzarella sticks. And
you're gonna make them yourself?
Well, the mozzarella, I just bought a box of mozzarella sticks, but I'm making the deep fried pickles from scratch.
No way.
And then we're doing wings, and then we just got a bunch of chips and garbage for after that.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Inevitably, we do this every year. A couple of years we like bought so much stuff, and then I realized after I made it all, I'm like, oh, I made enough food for a party that we didn't invite anybody to. So we were like we were eating like leftover chicken wings for days.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I ordered like a 2-for, and I was been eating pizza for weeks, man. It's like, holy Christ.
Nice.
Look at all these movies that came up. Overboard, The Cutting Edge, War Games, Over the Top, Red Dawn.
What else do we got here? UHF, Teen Wolf. We haven't done Teen Wolf yet.
We have? Yes, we have.
Oh, I got to look through my list. I feel like we didn't do Teen... Oh, you know what? You're right. I think we did.
Movies.
Yeah, Mr. Bomb was good. Teen Wolf 2, I know we didn't do.
Summer School, Baby Room.
Hoosiers. All right, I think now that we're just like scrolling through the streaming, it's time to end. It's time to end this episode. All right, guys.
Good, because I'm hungry.
Yeah, all right, we're gonna go get you fed. Thank you guys so much for coming out again and listening to the episode. We'll be back next week with a coming attractions episode. Actually, depending on how, because this is far enough out now that we might actually be back together for it. I don't know. I can't guarantee anything because I don't know the goddamn future. But. We will see you next week. Coming attractions episode. We will let you know what we're doing the following week. You get the whole friggin' deal by now, I hope. All right. We'll catch you later.
Bye.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.